Hello financial investors and welcome to the channel. My name is Brent and today we are going to be covering 3 questions I recently got asked on the M1 Finance platform from some viewers, subscribers here on the channel. Number 1, we're going to be covering what do you recommend as an amount for an auto investment deposit. Number 2, we're going to go ahead and cover how do I add another pie into my portfolio here on the M1 Finance platform. And number 3, how do I move stocks from one pie to another, or as an individual holding? Maybe you have some individual holdings inside of your portfolio. How do you move them from being an individual stock into a pie within your portfolio? Those are the 3 questions that we're going to try and focus on in today's video. And of course, if you are brand new to my channel, have not yet subscribed, I would really appreciate if you do head down below, hit the red bell to be subscribed to the channel. If you have any questions related to M1 Finance, Robinhood, Webull, Merrill Edge, Fidelity, I now use all these platforms. So I like to use the platforms that my viewers, subscribers are watching and using. That way, if they have any questions, I can go ahead and cover it. But if you do have anything related to the stock market, dividends, personal finance, drop it into the comment section below. I do read and apply to all your comments. And of course, give this video a thumbs up now. That way, you don't have to do it later. And let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so M1 Finance, great platform, essentially a modern day free robo-advisor platform. You can set up a taxable account, retirement account, create a funding schedule, and turn auto investing feature on, and it essentially acts as the 401k, Roth 401k. You add equity into it, auto invest into the equity securities that you're currently invested in automatically for you. You don't have to do anything with it. So that is where this question comes from. What would you recommend as an amount for an auto investment feature? Now, on the 15th of April 2020, M1 Finance recently changed their platform around. It used to be $10 would be the minimum amount needed to initiate a buy order. Now, they recently changed this. They have a little icon here. If you move your cursor over the eye for information, it'll kind of show you. We'll kind of read this out really quickly. I blew up my screen. That way you guys can all kind of read along, or if you want, pause the video and read through it. By turning this icon in here, it'll make it blue, meaning that auto investing is turned on whenever your account reaches $25. So turn on the auto invest to automatically invest all of your cash. Trading will be initiated once you have at least $25 in cash. You can also set a minimum cash balance to remain uninvested in your account, and trading will be initiated once your balance is at least $25 over that set amount. Example, if you set a minimum of $1,000, trading will be initiated whenever your cash balance is at least $1,025. That extra $25 will be traded and the $1,000 will remain in your account. All deposits and dividends are added to your cash balance, and any withdrawals will be taken from your cash balance first. So essentially, if you are wanting to answer the question of a recommended amount to auto reinvest, the minimum amount needed would be $25. And $25 is actually quite a bit. I recently did a post, or I'm coming up with a post, that if you invested $25 on a weekly basis as the minimum, and there's 52 weeks in a year, you're saving or investing a little over $1,000 a year just with the minimum investment of $25. Now imagine if you could 4x that, 5x that amount on a weekly basis. You can see how the investment or your amount would start to multiply by the end of the year. So at the minimum, the auto investment feature needed would be $25. Now, depending on what your plan is yourself on a yearly basis, say for example, you're opening up a Roth IRA, which has a current max contribution limit of $6,000, and every year you want to max out your Roth IRA, you have 52 weeks in a year, you can go ahead and take out your max contribution of $6,000, divide it by the number of years, and you may say that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and invest every week $115.38. That way, by the very end of the year, you have continued to dollar cost average into your portfolio, regardless of whether the market's moving up or down. You've also set a specific amount that you are setting aside for yourself. You're basically paying yourself first every week you're taking a bit of your cash balance out of your checking account, automatically investing it into your taxable account, your Roth IRA over on the M1 Finance platform, and it's getting invested on the platform. You're basically paying yourself first without having to think anything about it. It's automatically being done. You're setting yourself up for the future without really having to manually go send the cash over to M1 Finance. I think that's a really smart plan for a lot of investors to do. So depending on what your own investment plan is, you can make that adjustment. How much are you willing to invest on a yearly basis? Do you like investing in chunks? Do you like it breaking up over a monthly basis, a weekly basis? Then take that chunk, divide it up by months or by weeks or even by days on M1 Finance. It allows you to make deposits on a daily basis, but you may want to, depending on whether you want to have that cash balance and dividends reinvested on a weekly, daily, or monthly basis, be adjusted to about $25 at the minimum. That way, it'll automatically trigger the auto investment feature, or if you want to go and manually turn off the auto invest feature and then buy and sell positions within your portfolio yourself, you can do that as well. So that is the first question. It really depends on your plan, but at the minimum you would want $25 in order to take advantage of the buying feature on the M1 Finance platform. Otherwise your cash would sit there in the cash balance until you do reach that $25 limit. Okay, question number 2, how do I add a new pie to my portfolio? So for example, I have quite a bit of holdings, but I don't have any pies within this portfolio. So if I wanted to create a pie and add it to my portfolio, how would I do that? Would I go down into the edit and then look for a pie somehow in this area? No, not exactly. What you would want to do is head over to your research tab. From your research tab, you would go down into your pies. Here you have a ton of pies. Well, depending on your portfolio, I have created multiple pies, different brackets depending on different situations that I wanted to kind of track and see their performance. So I essentially made an essential tech portfolio. There was 40 holdings, and each holding had different stocks within this. So I made a tech, staples, healthcare, and so on. These are just for viewing and such. And then I had a spec pie that I created. I had a bunch of pies, YouTube channel, Learn to Invest. So there was another YouTube channel. I went ahead and took some of their recommendations, threw them into a pie, and wanted to see the performance of that recommendation against my own portfolio. But if you wanted to make your own pie and add it to your portfolio, you could go in here and create a new pie. Now I'm going to go ahead and just select the first 5 positions here that are available and then select add. This is going to go ahead and create the pie. Now I can go ahead and give this pie a name here. This is just YouTube example pie for video, and then I'll hit save and it'll just be renamed and be available here. Now from this point I can click back on my pies and there's my pie having been created today. Now in order to add this to my portfolio, there's a little button right here that says add to my portfolio. I can go ahead and click it and I can choose which account I want to add this pie to. Do I want to add it to my Roth IRA, which is tax-free, or to my taxable account? In this example, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my Roth IRA and select add. This is going to automatically put it into my pie. Now, you can only have a maximum of 100% in your pie in order to save. I can't go in here and put 1% because you'll notice here that the total is now 101%. So what I can do is come down here and drop down Chevron from a 6% to a 5% and leave YouTube at 1, and then I could select save. Now, if I do this, are you sure you want to make changes to your portfolio? Any removed slices will be sold during your next trading window. Proceeds will be reinvested into this pie. So I'm not removing anything, so by confirming this, there's nothing going on. But if I were to remove any holdings within my portfolio and it sold equity, say I was holding Johnson & Johnson, I removed it from my portfolio, I would sell off roughly $921.33 of equity, and M1 Finance would automatically reinvest it into my portfolio based on my target percentages. So you have to be careful when removing positions because M1 Finance will automatically reinvest those positions. Now, I go ahead and sort this by the value, and there's the pie that we just made for this video. I added into my portfolio. Now, say I wanted to move a couple positions around. I'm actually going to remove this pie by going into here, scrolling down towards the bottom, selecting it, removing it, and then I'm going to go back up to the top to my chevron. We'll just say Cisco. And what we're doing is setting this back up to be 7%, and then this will reach 100%, and I can save this and confirm. Again, I'm not selling anything. The equity that pie had was zip, so nothing's going to be sold out, nothing's going to happen. I can go back through here, hit my value, and that pie has been removed. Now what I can do is head back to my research, go into my pies, and I want to delete it. I don't need this pie. We'll just select the little dots here and select delete and confirm. Now what a lot of investors that I've seen on M1 Finance platform have done is that they use pies in order to separate their portfolio into different sectors or industries, or maybe they're just different styles of investing. So here I can go ahead and select O Realty Income. I could add that to my pie, my basket there. I could also select SPG, which is another real estate investment trust. And I could also select WPC, WP Carry, and also add that to my basket. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just make it easy with Realty Income in this example. I am only going to go ahead and do this one. I'm going to go ahead and show you here what I am going to do. Now we're moving on to question number 3. How do I move stocks around in my portfolio from one pie to the other? Now this is going to be a test, and we'll kind of see from here. So I went ahead into edit, and this is going to be my real estate investment trust. I'm going to go ahead and select save, and now going to go back into my pies. Now my REITs are, well, one REIT is saved within this pie. I want to add this to my portfolio into my Roth IRA. I currently hold Realty Income as an individual company right here within this portfolio. So I'm going to go ahead and take one from Realty Income and put one into my REIT pie and select save and confirm. Nothing's being sold. I know that nothing will be auto reinvested. Now the next thing I want to do here is we're wanting to move one stock from the total portfolio maybe into a pie or into another pie. So just think of this stock here that we're looking at being either inside of a pie or just as itself. So here I'm going to go ahead and select Realty Income. I'm going to go down into the buy sell. What I'm going to do here is sell. I'm going to sell $25 and hit continue and confirm the sell. What this is going to do is on the next trading day, it would sell that position from the individual holding. Now what I want to do is get my REITs pie that I recently added in here, select buy sell, and I'm actually going to hit the individual stock itself. So selecting Realty Income, I'm going to go ahead in here. I have $25 that I'm selling out of the individual side, and I'm now targeting it within a pie. And I'm going to hit continue and confirm. So what it's going to do is on the next trading day, on this upcoming Wednesday, it is going to be selling from the individual side. So right here, we can see that there's a trade or a switch option here of Realty Income, and it's going to go into the REITs area. You can see a little swap here. Now, what normally happens when you make any sort of trade activity on the M1 Finance platform is over here on the left hand side, it's going to show your upcoming trades. Now I can show you something here really quickly where I can make that appear. So we can say sell $50 of Clorox and continue and confirm. Now on the left hand side, Clorox is going to show as pending. So if I go back to my portfolio, down here towards the bottom, you can see here I have an upcoming trade. I have one sell. Now if I view my details, I am selling Realty Income and I am buying Realty Income $25. I'm selling $25. I'm buying $25. And I'm also selling a Clorox. But what you notice here, this is showing as a pending order, but you can see buys is 0, whereas sells is 1. I am not selling and buying Realty Income. It's basically just sort of transferring from the total portfolio into a pie. And what I can do here is, you can see that this option here is available right now, that I have one sell. It doesn't say that I have a buy. Now, if I were to go into my details once again, cancel the Clorox portion of it, now I have 0 buys and I have 0 sells. And if I go into my portfolio, I no longer see any upcoming trades. I don't have any buys, I don't have any sells. Tomorrow on Wednesday, the 22nd of April, all that's going to happen is that M1 Finance is going to take the equity, those shares that are being held here, and selling out of them and moving that cash into and those shares into that pie. Now, if you would like to see a screenshot of this tomorrow, we should see in the activity tomorrow, there should be nothing that shows up. There should be no buy, there should be no sell. All we will see in the portfolio tomorrow after the morning has happened is that we'll just see equity having been moved from Realty Income into this, and we'll see a value of roughly $50 or something very similar. It's just some cash kind of being moved around. So I will be posting over on my Facebook page, Financial 101. If you're interested in how this turns out, head over there. I have a link down in the comment section and the description below as well. And we'll kind of confirm that there's not going to be any sort of activity that shows up. If this goes correctly, there should not be a taxable event. That was another question that was asked. How do I move a holding from the individual or Roth IRA or any account without it being a taxable account, taxable event? So if this happens, if I'm able to sell, if I'm able to buy, and essentially just moving cash from the portfolio into a pie, that will be how you do this without triggering a taxable event. So look for the update over on the Facebook page, and I'll also post it over in my discussions tab here on YouTube. On my main channel page, if you go into my discussions, I post regularly and there's some updates of the portfolio or just information that I hear. So look forward to that. So that is basically all I wanted to cover in today's video. I'm not going to be canceling at that equity trade. So tomorrow I'm going to be posting over on Facebook, and we've answered the 3 questions today. What do you recommend as the amount for an auto investment? $25 is the minimum that you should be kind of focused on adding at any time. That way you're able to reinvest your dividends. You're able to dollar cost average into any sort of holdings in your portfolio. Number 2, how do you add a new pie? First, you go into your research tab. Then you select your pies and you create a new pie from this area. And number 3, how do you move equity or pie from the total portfolio or one pie into another pie? What's essentially you're selling a portion of the equity of that position in one pie or in your total portfolio. You're going into the other pie and you're buying that stock within the other pie. And that essentially just kind of moves cash from one pie to the other or from the total portfolio into the other pie. So those are the 3 questions that we answered today in today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, find it helpful, definitely give this video a thumbs up. I know there's a lot of questions out there with M1 Finance, and it can be a bit tricky to kind of work with, but I still believe it's a really great platform for long-term investors, for investors that may not want to trade on a regular basis, buying in, buying out of the market. If you're a long-term investor and wanting something simple, something you could set up a scheduled deposit with, to your liking and investment goals, M1 Finance is a great platform. It offers both a taxable retirement account. You can set it and forget it, or you can do as I do every week on Mondays. If you tune into my channel, I go through my portfolio and I make investments based on that current week and the current holdings in the position and where they are currently trading at. So that is basically it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, again, give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment below if you have any other questions on M1 Finance, Robinhood, Webull. I have links down below in the description of this video in the comment section as well. If you guys are interested in getting 2 free stocks from Webull or 1 free stock from Robinhood, check out the links down in the description. I would really appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning into this channel. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you guys next time. See you later. Bye.